The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Vedanta in all its phases, address by Swami Vivekananda in Calcutta, Part 5. The next point which all the sects in India believe in is God. Of course, their ideas of God will be different. The dualists believe in a personal God and a personal only. I want you to understand this word personal a little more. This word personal does not mean that God has a body, sits on a throne somewhere and rules this world, but means saguna, with qualities. There are many descriptions of the personal God. This personal God as the ruler, the creator, the preserver and the destroyer of this universe is believed in by all the sects. The Advaitists believe in something more. They believe in a still higher phase of this personal God, which is personal impersonal. No adjective can illustrate where there is no qualification. And the Advaitists would not give him any qualities except the three Sat, Chit, Anand. That is existence, knowledge, and bliss, absolute. This is what Shankara did. But in the Upanishads themselves, you will find they penetrate even further and say nothing can be predicted of it except neti neti. No, not this, not this. Here, all the different sects of India agree. But taking the dualistic side, as I have said, I will take Ramanuja as the typical dualist of India, the great modern representative of the dualistic system. It is a pity that our people in Bengal know so very little about the great religious leaders in India, but have been born in other parts of the country. And for that matter, during the whole of the Mohammedan period, with the exception of our Chaitanya, all the great religious leaders were born in southern India. And it is the intellect of southern India that is really governing India now. For even Chaitanya belonged to one of these sects, a sect of the Madhvas. According to Ramanuja, these three entities are eternal: God, soul, and nature. The souls are eternal and they will remain eternal, existing, individualized through eternity, and will retain their individuality all through. Your soul will be different from my soul through all an eternity, says Ramanuja. And so will this nature, which is an existing fact, as much a fact as the existence of soul or the existence of God remain always different. And God is interpenetrating, the essence of the soul. He is the Antaryamin. In this sense, Ramanuja thinks that God is one with the soul, the essence of the soul, and these souls at the time of Pralay, when the whole of nature becomes what he calls Sankuchita, contracted, become contracted and minute and remain so for a time. And at the beginning of the next cycle, they will all come out according to their past karma and undergo the effect of that karma. Every action that makes the natural inborn purity and perfection of the soul gets contracted is a bad action. And every action that makes it come out and expand itself is a good action, says Ramanuja. Whatever helps to make the vikas of the soul is good, and whatever makes it sankuchita is bad. And thus the soul is going on expanding or contracting in its actions till through the grace of God comes salvation, and that grace comes to all souls, say Ramanuja, that are pure and struggle for that grace. There is a celebrated verse in the Shrutis: when the food is pure, then the sattva becomes pure. When the sattva is pure, then the smriti, the memory of the Lord, or the memory of our own perfection, if you are an Advaitist, becomes truer, steadier, and absolute. Here is a great discussion. First of all, what is sattva? We know that according to the Sankhya, and it has been admitted by all our sects of philosophy, the body is composed of three sorts of materials, not qualities. It is a general idea that sattva, rajas, and tamas are qualities. Not at all. Not qualities, but the materials of this universe. And with ahar shuddhi, when food is pure, the sattva material becomes pure. The one theme of the Vedanta is to get this sattva. As I have told you, the soul is already pure and perfect, and it is, according to the Vedanta, covered up by rajas and tamas particles. The sattva particles are the most luminous, and the effulgence of the soul penetrates to them as easily as light through glass. So if the rajas and tattva particles go and leave the sattva particles, in this state the power and the purity of the soul will appear and leave the soul more manifest.